guys! I hope everyone's having a happy new year so far. So as promised, I'm going to be doing a review on one of my most highly requested fragrances, and it's called Fancy Nights, and it's the third fragrance by Jessica Simpson. So this fragrance came out in the summer of 2010, so it was several months ago, and I only recently got it because it actually didn't come to Canada for quite some time. I would search every day, like whenever I went to the mall and stuff, Shoppers Drug Mart and Sears and everywhere, just looking for it, and it just would not come. And it got to a point where I was convinced that it just wasn't going to come. Like I'd have to just order it online. And then right before the holiday season, Shoppers Drug Mart finally got like a shipment of it in. So as soon as I saw it, I snatched it up, and I really like it. And now I'm going to tell you guys all about it. Okay, so first I'm going to show you the box for it. So here's the Fancy Nights box. It is definitely fancy. It's her fanciest box yet. It's this gorgeous gold color, very shiny. It has these sort of like vine-like designs going all around the box there. And it says Fancy Nights in this emerald green writing, Jessica Simpson, right in the center of the box there. There's Fancy Nights on the top as well, and that same gold pattern goes all around the box. Back and on the sides. Alright, so for the bottle, it's the same design as her original Fancy and her Fancy Love bottle, but this time it is a gorgeous green color. So we still have the typical sort of like cupcake design, kind of like the wide base with the golden top. We have the floral print going around the rim there, and it even has the original butterfly that was on the Fancy bottle, so it still has the butterfly. It says Fancy Nights, Jessica Simpson on the front, and then it has that same sort of like golden vine pattern going along the base of the bottle. So it's very fancy looking, it's very mysterious. It reminds me of like a treasure from like an Arabian castle or something. It looks very like Eastern, and it makes me think of like Aladdin for some reason. Oh, and I also have the Advertisement. I don't have like a cutout of it, but before I found Fancy, when I was like going crazy trying to find it, I ended up ordering some samples of it off eBay because it was like the only place I could find it. So they just came on like little cards. It's like the weird like bubble one that I don't really like, but anyways, I got like 4 of them. I used like 1 of them, and I sort of kept these other 3, and on the back is the Advertisement. And I love all of Jessica's advertisements. I think she looks so pretty in all of them. So for Fancy Nights, it's like she's wearing this black evening gown, very mysterious looking. She kind of looks like a witch, but like a sexy witch, you know, not like a bad witch. So I really like it, and she's just, you know, it's like kind of like the midnight sky. It's just very alluring. I loved it when I first saw it. Okay, so now I'm going to tell you about the fragrance. So before I even like talk about the notes, I just wanted to say that this is a very different smelling scent compared to the rest of the celebrity market. So, I mean, I have a lot of celebrity scents, as you probably already know, and I can honestly say that a lot of them are very, what I call commercial. Like, they're very geared to kind of please everyone. Like, they're fruity and sweet and just very comforting, and a lot, like, not all of them, but a lot of them are sort of geared, like, sort of go in that direction. Fancy Nights really took a different turn. I really have to hand it to Jessica because this is a very specific fragrance. It's not one that everyone is going to love. In fact, I think most people, it's either going to be like you adore it or you would never wear it. Like it's kind of like a love or hate fragrance. It's not really one that is going to please very many people, but I think that makes it extra special, and I think that makes it stand out among a lot of the other fruity florals and gourmand scents out there. It really is, you know, a special mysterious scent that I'm glad to say is part of my collection. So without further ado, let me tell you exactly what's in it. Okay, so I'm not going to spray it only because I'm wearing it right now, and I can say that it is a very strong, powerful scent, and I don't want to put any more on because it might like knock me over. So when you first spray Fancy Nights, you get the initial top note, which consists of bergamot and papyrus. And right away, right when you smell it, you know this is a different scent. There's nothing fruity about this at all. It's not fruity, it's not sweet, it's lightly floral, but it really is quite exotic and spicy smelling. So right when you spray it, that papyrus gives you this very earthy smell to it. It's a very earthy, woodsy kind of scent with a bit of spiciness to it. So it already smells very exotic and mysterious. Like right off the bat, it's a very mysterious smelling scent. The bergamot is sort of there to sort of add a little bit of freshness to it, but it really gets covered up with a lot of the other notes because everything in this scent is very strong and heavy, so that bergamot doesn't, it's not like a fresh bergamot smell. It's really just there to help balance a bit, but overall this is quite a heavier earth tone scent. So in the heart of the fragrance is where we really find the strong part of the scent that's going to just dominate most of it, and that is the patchouli. So there's patchouli in the heart of the scent, as well as rose and a little bit of jasmine. Now I don't know if you've smelled patchouli before. If you're a fan of like just the celebrity scents, like you get the Paris Hiltons and the Britneys and the J-Los, you're really not too familiar with patchouli because it is not commonly used in those commercial sort of scents. The only one that I have that has patchouli in it, like from my women's perfume collection, is Britney's Believe. There's some patchouli in the base of Believe, which makes it a little bit spicier. So if you have that and you like that, then that's sort of giving you a little bit of a taste of this. But the patchouli in this is like pure natural patchouli. It's very strong, it's very earthy. It's not covered up by any fruits or sweetness. It's just, there being patchouli. And then you can smell the rose in it, and the rose tries to make it a little bit more sophisticated, like adds a little bit of a floral touch to it, and I really like that. I think it's a good mix to help balance out the papyrus and the patchouli, which are really giving you that strong spicy scent. And the jasmine, of course, I feel like the jasmine's doing the same thing as the bergamot. It's there to sort of freshen the deal a bit, like making it a little bit more clean. And I think it is necessary, but again, it's not a fresh smelling scent. Those two are there to just sort of balance it a bit so that it doesn't become too overpowering, and I think they do a good job at that. And then in the base of the scent, we have a nice dry down, a very strong, confident dry down. We have oak moss, amber, musk, sandalwood, and some vanilla. So the vanilla is really the only delicate part of the scent. It's the only sort of like pretty part of it. Not that this is a gross scent at all. This is a very beautiful scent, but it's not particularly girly or flirty. So we finally get to the base and we get those nice woods. We get that sort of spicy dry down with a bit of the musk. You can actually start to smell the vanilla in the heart of the scent. It does give the scent a very nice powdery touch. I think the vanilla sort of mixes with the jasmine and the rose a bit, like earlier on in the scent, to give it like a little bit of a baby powder touch. I mean, it's not as bad as Harajuku Lover's Baby. That's like baby powder. This isn't like that, but it definitely has a little bit of a touch of that to help soften it a bit. And I really think the scent was very well thought out. Like, you have those heavy patchouli and papyrus notes, but then they're washed out a bit with the jasmine and then softened a bit with the rose and the vanilla. I think everything just comes together really, really nicely. So I love that vanilla. I love that powdery feel. And then of course it ends with that musky, woodsy dry down, which is what you would expect from such a strong, woody, exotic scent. So you really have to try this one out before you purchase it. I hope I've done a good job at explaining what it does smell like. It is a very strong scent. In fact, when I was using the samples, it was so funny because like it's a weird scent, but like you have to like peel it back and then like crack the bubble open and then like put it on your skin. But anyways, I used up the bubble. So it's just this part here, and it was empty, so it's now empty. And I had it just like on one of my shelves. And honestly, I could smell Fancy Nights just from that empty bubble for like a week after. Like, it's a very strong scent. It really lingers. It leaves this wonderful, like, mysterious trail everywhere you go. Like, I have it just like on the sides of my neck, and I could just, every time I walk, I could like feel it just following me around. It's like this veil. Like, it's kind of like, how she's wearing like this like dark veil. I feel like that's what Fancy, it's a dark veil that sort of like you know, goes around you and just kind of like follows you through the night. Sorry, I'm just like going overboard with this, but that's how I feel. So I think it is Jessica's most unique scent. I think it's, out of all the celebrity scents, it really stands out among them. And I personally have really sort of fallen in love with it. And I only wear it on occasion because it is, you know, quite a spectacle. But when I do wear it, I really, really enjoy it. So let's go on to, you know, when to wear it. It is, of course, a fancy perfume, and it is for night. And I think that is a good name for it because I wouldn't wear it during the day. I just wouldn't wear it during the day. It is not an everyday perfume at all. It's not a morning perfume. It's not a summer perfume. If you wore this on a summer day, you would get like arrested. Like it just, no, it doesn't work for that. This is a fancier, exotic, mysterious, sexy evening scent that is perfect for just, you know, a fancy night out. I would say maximum 2 sprays. Don't put any more than 2. I've got 2 on right now and, you know, I'm good. It's just, it's filling the room, it's filling my life right now. So I wouldn't put any more than 2 sprays on this. And I don't think you need to reapply because the notes are so strong, like the papyrus, the patchouli, they're very like, you know, heroic notes, if we want to say. So they like stick with you all day. They're nothing light or fluffy. You know, it's not one of those little like frilly scents that just float away. This is going to stick with you. So you don't need to put on too much and you don't need to reapply. This is the 50 milliliter bottle. You can get a 100 milliliter bottle. And there's also a lotion and a roll-on and a gift set that comes with the big bottle, the lotion, and the roll-on. So I've seen those selling like online, but this is all that I could find here in Canada, but you can get, you know, those products as well. Okay, so let me just talk about comparing it to the other fancies. So when I first smelled it, I was like, wow, this is so far from the other fancies that like it could have been, like I would never think it was associated with them. That's what I originally thought. But after I finally got it and I wore it like several times, I can honestly say that it is one of the fancies. I know it doesn't sound like it is, but there's something about it. I think it's that powdery vanilla floralness that sort of is always lingering there. That just is a throwback to the fancies, because the original fancy had that warm vanilla caramel floral feel. Fancy Love was that like powdered floral creaminess, and you know, this is a different scent, but it still has sort of what the fancies are based on, and it's that powdery vanilla feel. It still has that. So it is a fancy. It's just very grown up, very nighttime, not nearly as flirty or girly as the other two, but it still belongs in the fancy family. And if I had to compare it to another celebrity scent, like I said, if you're a celebrity scent kind of person, I would say this is most comparable to With Love by Hilary Duff. They're not the same, but With Love has those exotic woods and spices that Fancy Nights as well has. So those are similar. So if you like With Love, there's a chance you'll like this. But this is a stronger, fancier version. But it does have similarities to With Love by Hilary Duff. I'll just do a quick summary of the scent. So it is an exotic, mysterious scent, perfect for night, very niche, not very commercial at all. It starts off with bergamot and papyrus, so it is a nice, woody, earthy feel. The heart of the fragrance comes out with the rose, jasmine, and patchouli. Very earthy, very strong, very exotic. I know I keep saying exotic, but that's just what I think. Very exotic. And then we have that vanilla rose powdery feel that's sort of just like flowing over the scent to help balance it out, that I just really adore. And the dry down is a nice musky, woodsy vanilla touch that I think is perfect to end this beautiful fragrance with. Okay guys, that's my review for Fancy Nights. I love it. I think you guys should give it a try. I hope you found it helpful. And I'll see you guys next time for some more fragrance reviews.